All right, so here I have the Puma MagMix Nitro, and yeah, I'll start with the upper on this. It's just a pretty standard engineered mesh material, nothing too fancy. Um, I wouldn't say it breathes the best. I do feel my foot um, getting warm in the shoe, but um, for the most part, I think it's a decent upper, just because of the simplicity of nothing else. Um, One part that's kind of strange is this tab in the back, um, which fortunately in the white you can't really tell. But this, it says bouncy AF on the back, which I think is um, just kind of strange. Definitely does not need to be there. But this sometimes flared up when I'm running. I don't know. It doesn't seem to stay down perfectly, but definitely helps you get your foot in the shoe, but not a necessary feature I feel like to have on the shoe. It's just kind of strange. And I guess that brings me to the next point is the midsole, which is definitely my favorite feature of this shoe and probably makes it, I know I keep saying this, but this might be my all-time favorite shoe to run in just because how good the midsole is. I guess first there's a ton of foam, and I like max cushion shoes. And I will say like this Puma Nitro foam and having this high of a stack um, feels amazing. I've had two pairs of these now, and I've put well over 1,000 miles across both shoes. And this is the best cushioning I've run in. And it's strange that they decided to put bouncy AF on the back of this. I know you can't really see that because I wouldn't say that it's a bouncy feeling at all. It's just a really soft and cushioned feeling, which is what I like. I would say there's not a ton of energy return, not a ton of bounce, but just really good cushion that feels really good to run in. And that's what I care about most in the shoe is just the feel of the cushion. And so that's why I think this is such a good shoe. There's other reasons too. And I guess I'll get to that now is the outsole here. I guess it's Puma grip. But I have almost 500 miles on this pair, and you can see the rubber is in great shape. This is the grippiest outsole I've ever run in. You don't slip at all. And I mean, this rubber was just going to last forever. It's awesome. And yeah, I don't know what compound they're using. It's definitely a harder, tackier type of rubber. But this is fantastic. And I think just the combination, I would say that the upper is probably not necessarily my favorite. I feel like they can improve it just in terms of, I don't know, make it feel a little bit more premium. And I have a really narrow foot and a size 14, so I have to lace these up really tight. I'd say that they're, it's a good platform. It's wide but not too wide. Just for my foot, I have to lace it up, and so like that for all that reason, the upper isn't my favorite. But the combination of the midsole and the outsole there is just amazing, and the price is really steep at $180. But I almost got 700 miles on my first pair of these, and when you consider that, I think it becomes a different value proposition where you're almost getting a shoe and a half out of it. And when you think of it that way, the $180 price tag becomes more reasonable, I think. There are some things I would also say about this shoe is, you know, I really liked those Mizuno Wave Sky 8s that I'd run in. And I would say that those shoes were more versatile than these. These, I think, are a 10.2 ounces in a men's size 9. And it's definitely one of the clunkiest, heaviest shoes that I've run in. So if you want to do like track workout or a fartlek or, you know, some sort of light tempo in these, I would not recommend it. It's kind of difficult to get going at a high speed, at a good pace in these, just because there's so much here. There's weight. The shoe is just bigger in general. So yeah, there is an element of clunkiness, but I guess for me, I'm just looking to run in these for regular daily runs, and I just want a soft, durable shoe for that, and that's what this is. So if you want a shoe with more versatility, I don't think that this is it. But if you want good cushion, good protection, this is just an incredible shoe. It's the first time I've ever tried Puma, and I'm super impressed. I think that there's an 8mm drop on these. I'm trying to think, you know, what else is relevant about this shoe. One thing I will say is if you have a high arch on your shoe, there's not much of an arch in this guy. It kind of just feels like a huge slab of foam, you know, that's contoured a bit, and then an upper attached to it. So I don't have much of an arch, so it works out perfect for me. But someone who did have a higher arch, that would be a concern. And even though you're so high off the ground, I mean, these add so much to if you're standing with these shoes on, you're gonna be 2 inches taller. These shoes are super, super stable. That being said, if you are a big pronator, I wouldn't, well, I may still recommend these, but it wouldn't be maybe the ideal shoe, just because I do feel like it really is, you know, a neutral shoe. So overall, like I said, because of just the ride of the shoe, the feeling that you get when you're running, and the durability, I think that it just makes it my favorite shoe, but not the most versatile, and you know, certainly a bit clunky. So keep that in mind. But yeah, overall, super impressed by this. Super impressed by Puma. I think there's a bit that they can improve, but you know, I just feel like the experience I've had with these guys has been incredible. So yeah, check them out. Not that many great colorways in my opinion, so I feel like the blue and the white are the way to go. But yeah, all right, and in here, thanks.